Beijing calls Japan's F-35 deal with the U.S. a big threat to China, Russia. The U.S. recently approved the sale of F-35 Joint Strike Fighters to Japan at a whopping cost of $23 billion. China, a traditional foe and close neighbor of Japan, has expressed concern of having such advanced jets in the region, which could be detrimental to the security of both China and Russia. Chinese state media, the Global Times, acknowledges for once that Japan is buying the U.S. F-35 jets out of practicality and as Tokyo needs to upgrade its current F-2S and F-15S jets. GT also accepts that Japan could be facing pressure from China and Russia, and Tokyo has rationally opted to go for the most advanced jets in the world, the F-35s, to counter the dual challenge of Beijing and Moscow. It goes on to say, Japan has made substantial improvement in its military modernization program. The first of the Izumo-class helicopter carriers, Izumo, has marked a milestone in its transformation into Japan's first true aircraft carrier since World War II. The other Izumo-class carrier, Kaga, is also under transmutation. Both ships will be transformed into light aircraft carriers on which approximately 20 F-35s can be stationed. But light aircraft carriers have restricted combat capabilities. Due to political issues, the reformations are concerning in certain quarters because they represent the first time that modern Japan has had fixed-wing aircraft carriers. Japan is approving a strategy of taking rapid moves in carrier development. Of special interest will be any plan by Japan to develop real carriers over 50,000 tons. If they acquire a large number of F-35CS, it will imply a new stage of Japanese aircraft carrier development. Such a massive military advancement in Japan will bother its neighbors, that is Russia and China. There are apprehensions that Japan will amend its peaceful constitution. This could turn Japan into an aggressive, hostile force, and nations that suffered in World War II because of Japanese expansionist policy will be closely watching. Japan is a key defense partner of the U.S. It is also part of Washington's so-called global alliance that targets China. Tokyo is also collaborating with the U.S. by developing an anti-missile system, which will affect the strike capabilities of China and Russia and endanger its security, writes the GT. Without self-sufficient defense capabilities, Japan is incapable of holding by itself and will only end up being commanded by the U.S. Although Japan has its own strategies and doesn't want to be fully commanded by Washington, the U.S. will unquestionably tighten its grip over Tokyo and use it against China and Russia. GT accuses the U.S. of hunting in a group, indirectly referring to all the alliances that Washington has all over the globe. Japan has limited military capabilities and is only capable of integrated combat with the assistance of the U.S., the report says.